Hi, hope everyone's well again. We are going to be working on the RAD strategy for writing. We work on this strategy so often because it is incredibly versatile. If you use this strategy, you can answer basically any question where the asker is expecting you to answer in the form of a paragraph. Basically, you answer and then you prove that your answer is correct. So, R, restate the question. A, answer the question. D, provide details from the text to support your answer. And D, provide details from the text to support your answer. Every time you give a detail from the text, you have to explain why you chose that detail. Why does that detail matter? How does it prove that your answer is correct? Okay, you always have to be going back to the answer. You're always trying to prove this answer. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be working on answering the question, what is the theme of From Artists to Artists? Justify your answer with evidence from the text. I read the question before I'm viewing the material because it helps train my brain to consider and think about the theme as I'm watching or reading the text, okay? If I just watch this video for enjoyment, then I might not be thinking about what lessons or messages the text is trying to impart to me, and I might have to read the question and then go back and watch the whole thing over again with that in mind. So this is a time-saving technique, as well as just, again, and honestly, train your brain to think about the things that are most important while you're watching. Okay, this video is called From Artists to Artists. Let's see. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this video, and I think that there are definitely multiple themes that we could pull out from it. But this is how you identify a theme, right? You want to think about how things were going at the very beginning, and then consider how the character changes or evolves during the course of the text. Sometimes the character doesn't seem to change much at all, and you need to think about how the conflict is changing. But change is something that you need to pay a lot of attention to, okay? So at the beginning, I noticed that this young lady is drawing and she's not super happy with her work, okay? She's got robot men they've got the same color palette. They kind of look like they could be from the same universe. She's got X's through them though. She really doesn't like them. And she's not happy. She's clearly not happy because moments later, she gets frustrated and she throws her pen thing on the floor. Okay. Then just a little bit later, she's looking at her dog, right? And she looks up at the wall and look at how much she has, so much stuff to kind of inspire her. She clearly watches a lot of different movies. She's got a lot of posters. They're all very colorful, but she's looking at her dog. Looking at her dog is the thing that really helped her. Not all those posters, not all of her inspiration. And now she's drawing the dog as a robo-dog, and he's very vivid and colorful, and she's got this whole cityscape that goes along with it, and it's gorgeous, and it's just from looking at the dog. Then later, the dog is playing in a bucket, right? And instead of she's not sticking with her robo-dog idea anymore. Now she's inspired to draw him as a knight, and there's a dragon here, and the dragon's gonna blow a bunch of fire onto this kingdom. It's very different. She's super inspired apparently by this dog, which I think is kind of strange. Like, I would not have seen a dog playing with a bucket and then gotten to this image. This isn't somewhere my brain would go. So I think that her inspiration is really interesting, and that it's coming from a dog instead of all the options she has in her room, I think is pretty exciting. So I think that's what I'm going to write about for my theme. I think I'm going to discuss how she is finding inspiration in kind of an unexpected place with this dog. All right. Okay, let's get started. As always, I'm going to use my question stem to help me answer this. So it says, what is the theme from artists to artists? So I will say the theme in from artists to artists. You gotta put a comma before you end that. Is that, and I'm gonna change to blue because this is my answer, is that inspiration can come from unlikely sources. Okay. All right. So my evidence at the beginning. So again, when you're writing about theme, you want to take from beginning, before the change, and then after. So at the beginning, the artist is having a hard time imagining what she wants. Okay. I just want to explain, I want to expand this a little bit. She even makes, well, I'll make it a new sentence. All right, she even makes multiple attempts that she scratches out as no good. Clearly, or I guess let's start with, this shows that all the posters and drawings around the room that are meant to be inspiring were not working. All right. This right here, the sentence, this shows that. This is my explanation. And I went ahead and I kept typing. I didn't think to change the color because it is so ingrained in me that if I give evidence, I have to give an explanation. So this needs to get into your mind as something that you have to do every single time. I can't put a detail and then put another detail and then explain. No, I have to give my detail, and then I have to explain it right there. Okay. All right. Another detail. Then I'm going to go to the end where well, not to the end, but after she's made this change. Okay. Later, she sees her dog playing around the room, a bucket, and a skateboard. And suddenly, she is drawing a medieval scene. I knew I wasn't going to spell that right. I guess it's gotta. All right. She's drawing a medieval scene and a race car driver. All right. Just from looking, I'm explaining it now, okay? At her dog, she is able to imagine things that I would probably never think of. Well, let's say that we don't want to use the word I in your writing, actually, that most people would not have considered. Oh, yeah, I did mean imagine. Computers are smart. Okay. Just from looking at her dog, she is able to imagine things that most people would not have considered. The dog is a very, and I don't feel like I've proven it entirely, so I'm going to add a little bit more. The dog is very unlikely of a source, okay? The dog is an unexpected source of, I don't really want to say inspiration again. Let me think if I can think of something different. No, I can't. All right, so I'm going to go to thesaurus. Well, let's just see. Thesaurus, inspiration. No, inspiration. Okay. Oh, I could say creativity. I could say innovation, artistry. I think I'm going to go with artistry because that's what she's doing. Nah. Well, I think creativity. All right. That's it. I think I've proven my point. I think that if I didn't put this explanation in here, it really wouldn't have shown anything about the fact that it's an unlikely source. It's just saying that she saw her dog playing with a bucket and she drew this. That's all it's saying. It's not really proving anything. So you definitely have to make sure that you include your explanations for your evidence. I'm going to just reread it out loud and make sure it sounds good. The theme in From Artists to Artists is that inspiration can come from unlikely sources. At the beginning, the artist is having a hard time imagining what she wants. She even makes multiple attempts that she scratches out as no good. This shows that all the posters and drawings around her room that are meant to be inspiring were not working. Later, she sees her dog playing with a bucket and a skateboard, and suddenly she's drawing a medieval scene and a race car driver. Just from looking at her dog, she is able to imagine things that most people would not have considered. The dog is an unexpected source of creativity. Okay, it works, guys. That's what you have to do. And I didn't do it all on my own. I had to use thesaurus. I had to think about things in the video from the beginning and from the end and see how they changed. And I had to read it out loud just to make sure that I was happy with my result and that it actually proved what I was trying to prove. Don't forget your evidence. Don't forget your explanations. All right, good luck.